Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Tech Tutorials 2K21, and today we are discussing about the comments in Python programming. So comments are the text that are included into our programs to provide an explanation of the source code. And whatever we return as a comment in programming, so that is never executed by the Python interpreter. So the comments only for the user understanding about the source code. When the users see about these comments in future, they can easily identify or they can easily understand the code. So by writing these comments, code can maybe more readable, because even the other a person or a user see the code, so they can easily understand what the source code can do. So in another purpose also, we are implementing the comments in programming. So that is in Python. We want to test any code. Means suppose if you want to test a part of the code in your program, instead of deleting the remaining part, simply we can make it as a comment. So that is preventing an execution of those statements while you're testing. So this is a purpose of comments using in Python programming. So there are different types of comments are supported by Python. So the first one is a single line comment or an inline comment. And the second one is a block comments. And the third one is a doc strings. Coming to single line comments. In Python, single line comments are used to write the comments in one line. And we are using a symbol hash before the statement as making as a comment. And here is an example. Suppose if I want to write a statement like addition of two numbers, I want to make it as a single line comment. So simply I can add hash symbol before this particular statement. So when I'm return this statement in my program, my Python interpreter is not executed this. So I'll demonstrate you this session practically at the end. So first try to understand the things. Whereas the inline comments, so inline comments also we can say as a single line comment, but the place where you return is different. So I'll differentiate that single line and inline comments when I'll show you a practical way. And the second thing is a multi-line comments or a block comments. In Python, it is directly not supported to write a multiple line comments as like your C or C++ or any other programming languages. Because in other programming languages, we have a direct mechanism, like we can use a combination of symbols and we'll make the statements in between those symbols, we'll make it as a multiple line comment. Whereas in Python, we don't have direct mechanism to implement a multiple line comments. In order to do that, we can use this hash symbol before the beginning of each line in Python. Suppose you can see in this example, I'm written a comment in 3 lines. Like I have 3 lines of comments like read A value, read B value, and compute the sync. So this entire 3 lines of code will be treated as a multiple line comment. And you can observe that the hash symbol is placed before each and every line beginning. So which make it as a multiple line comments. And another type of things is also supported by the Python. So which is a special thing is said to be a doc strings. which can be implemented by using a triple quotations in Python programming. So these doc strings will provide a convenient way of associating the documentation with a Python modules or functions or classes or methods. So here is an example provided, like this is a comment written in more than one line. So simply you can see the statement is enclosed within 3 double quotations. Simply make it as a combination as a triple quotation. So here we can take a simple example. Here you can see my function is a user-defined function. So this is a way how you're going to implement the functions in Python. You can use a def for implementing a user-defined functions. So after that function naming, you have to use a colon symbol for providing the definition to that particular function. And here you can see this is a doc string. So I'm not implemented anything more than this in this function. So here I'm return none, because this function is not going to return anything. And if you want to see the documentation which you return for your function, simply you can use the statement like this. So print the function name dot underscore doc underscore is going to give the doc string or the documentation which you associated with the function, my function in this example. So now I'll demonstrate about the single line, inline, block comments and doc strings now. Go to Google and type Google Colab. Because when we need to execute a Python programming, we need some IDE. So here I'm using an online IDE, which is said to be a Google Colab. So now you can see, just I'm click on this and I'm opening this IDE. So this is an online editor. So for this, we need not to install. So we can directly use. Here it is an environment. It will ask you for creating a new notebook. So I just click on this. So now it is going to create a notebook for me. So I can work there. So now you can see this is my notebook. So here my title of this notebook is Untitled 5. And this is an extension for this Python file. So this is a Python notebook. And here it is an IDE. So it is my prompt. There I can write my statements to execute. So here I'm going to show you how to implement all such type of things like single line comments, inline and block comments. And then lastly, we are going to discuss about the doc strings. So I'll start with a single line comment. So single line comments are nothing but we can return a document in a one line. So for that, I already said we have to use a hash symbol. Suppose I'm going to write a simple Python statement for displaying my name. So for that, display name. So this is my comment. Now you can see when I'm trying to execute this, my Python interpreter is not executing this statement. It just taken as a single line comment. If nothing will be displayed. See, now you can observe that this statement is executed successfully. Because of that, we are finding a tick mark here. And now you can see nothing will be displayed here, right? So I just using the same, and here I want to print my name. So simply I'm using print function. So here I'm provided my name as Devi Chokakula. So I want to print this. So simply I can Now you can see after I'm executing this, now you can find out Devi Chokakla is printed and display name is not at all printed in my console because I already said this is a comment and your interpreter can understand it's a comment, and these lines are provided some added things to your program, but your compiler or an interpreter is not going to execute. So we'll see about an inline comment. So single line and inline comments both are same. Only the difference is here you can see that the comments are written separately with the code, whereas inline comments you can write the comments along with the code itself. Suppose see for example print. So here I'm going to print tech tutorials. (2k to 1). So here I'm going to print this and I'm going to write a single line comment so that I can use the hash symbol. And here it provide like an information like it's a channel name. Okay, so now I'm executing this. So now you can see tech tutorials 2k to 1 is printed, but channel name is not going to be printed because it is treated as a single line comment. So now you can observe the difference between this and this. So this is a single line comment because you are written a comment separately with the code, whereas here you can include the comment along with the code. So that is the difference between single line and inline comment. So now coming to block comments and multiple line comments. So I already said Python is not directly supported to implement a multiple line comment. So simply we are using multiple single line comments to implement multiple comments in Python. So here suppose I want to implement a multiple line comment in Python. So what simply I can do, I need to add hash symbol before the beginning of every statement, right? Which I want to make it as a multiple line comment. For that, here I'm going to use like this. So this is an demonstration about multiple line comments. So now you can see here I'm written a comment in 3 lines. Now you can observe that this is a continuous statement, like this is an demonstration about multiple line comments. So I just run this. So I already said comments can be recognized by your interpreter, but it doesn't execute. Now you can see this is successfully executed. Because of this, you're getting a tick mark. It is successfully run. Okay, so this is a way how you're going to implement a multiple line comments in Python. And I'll show you about a doc strings. So I said like doc strings can be associated with a class, function, methods, or modules. So here I'll show you along with a function. So like you can write some documentation in your function, right? So that is a mean of association. Okay, and if you want to see that, that is also possible in Python. So I'll show you in demonstration way. Like see, suppose if I want to define one function and function name is my function. So this is a user defined function name. So in order to provide a definition, you have to give a colon definitely. And we know like Python follows indentation, like we have to provide a space, a tab space for providing a definition. Otherwise it will show you an error. So here I want to implement doc string. So for that I can use a triple quote. So that quotation, it may be of a single quotation or a double quotation. Both are valid. So here I'm using double quotations. Now you can observe that here I'm provided double quotation 3 times because I already said we have to use triple quote. So here I'm going to return a documentation. You can write a documentation in any lines. So there is no restrict to write only 1 line, 2 line, or 3 line. You can write anything. So this is a demonstration about the docstrings concept. In Python programming. So now I just want to close this. Okay, I can close this. And now I'm going to end my function. Simply, I'm going to write a return statement. So I'm nothing to display or nothing to do with this function. Simply, I'm return none. So now you can observe that here return none. So this is a function actually. So when you execute this, so nothing it will display, because see, now you can find out that no errors is there. If you want to see this, the document which is associated with this function, simply you can use a print statement. So here I extended this print. And here you need to provide your function name, and here my user defined function name is my underscore function. And you can use a dot operator. And here you need to provide doc. Okay. And here you can find like this. Okay. So this is going to print the documentation which is associated with this particular function, my function, because I'm going to print the documentation of my function. So I just click on run button. So now you can see that what are the documentation written for this function that is going to be displayed here. So this is a documentation about the docstrings, demonstration about the docstring concept in Python program. So this is about Python comments. Thank you.